this and then my picture of my dad, I just love those pictures because I think when I see them, I just see all the sacrifice they kind of make. And then they also have that Statue of Liberty behind them, so that reminds me of all the immigrants that kind of came before.
An immigrant is always an immigrant. Their generations later on diffuse, but in initial phase, they have their own limitations, they have their own circles, they have their own difficulties, and they live with that.
I mean, coming here I think was very hard. They did, things that they do very quickly, find other Pakistanis. And one of the things that they did, I remember my mom said they would go to parks and walk and stroll, and then when they would see somebody else they'd get so excited and they'd form this kind of network, and they met Pakistanis that they wouldn't have met in Pakistan.
When you read about American history, you read about the Scottish famine and all the the people from Ireland and Scotland came to the United States, people from Italy that came to the United States, people from various other countries that came to the United States. You find a very common theme among them is that they all kind of stayed together.
So here, it didn't really matter, what type, where you were from, just the fact that you were Pakistani.
Because when you come here, you're kind of a stranger in a strange land, and you need to find things that you're familiar with, cultures that you're familiar with, and stick by them.
For any immigrant of any religion or any country, if going to other country as an immigrant, it is always difficult. When you start thinking in other language and talking in another language, then that's the first barrier, that your thoughts are not directly communicated to your tongue. Then you go on with the, start talking, then you have an accent. And so that is another second barrier. And then third, you see, different cultural changes.
I think because we're a first generation, just like any first generation immigrants, Italians and Irish and, Catholics and Jews or anything like that, I think we're still going through that process. I think the biggest Asian migration was probably in the 60s, 70s. So we're pretty young as an immigrant society.
My family is here in North America, but I still have one of my sister and my older brother. And I kind of miss that being with them, with my family sometimes.
Most of my aunts and uncles either live like a couple blocks away or with my grandparents. I miss them a lot. And because of like time differences in school and stuff, I might get to talk to them like once every 2 weeks. And so I kind of miss them like all the time.
There was no social setback that I'm doing something wrong leaving them. It was just that I have to move forward and I have to achieve this thing, so I have to go. Yes, leaving them is tough. Leaving family is tough.
The people that are here are very driven to, they left, they first of all had resources enough to come here and then came here with the idea that they would succeed.
I lived in Pakistan, then I went to Saudi Arabia, then I have been to England for a couple of times and, Far East, and then I came here. When I came here, of course it's a different country. So, but the community is so large and there are a lot of things going on that I never felt alone.
We are a very close community here. We are very close. We meet with each other almost once in a month, and we try to talk about our country all the time. We talk about politics. We are, in fact, very close to Pakistan, while even though we are here.